Hi, it's John. I'm at Walking Patch today, and in today's video I'd like to talk about the protection and removal of negative energies and entities. And I felt it's really funny, my eyes look really dark in this video just now, perhaps they are. So let's start with some fundamental knowings that I have. Firstly, that there is a whole spectrum of darkness and light and everything in between. And so it is the eternal expression of the source of this universe to continually seek the rebalancing of darkness and light. Sometimes darkness is stronger than light, and sometimes light is stronger than darkness, and they eternally seek consistency. I don't want to show you what I'm doing for my dog just now, but you can imagine it involves something to do with a bag and poo. And I also believe, I know that this is a free will universe, and in a free will universe we are divine sovereign souls, so each of us have this divine right to be masters of our own universe. Patch is digging a hole. Patch, enough, come on. And let's get that. Yeah, we all have the divine right to be our own divine creators of our own reality. And we all choose what happens in our lifetimes, and our souls even choose which lifetimes we are born into to help grow our souls. And we are also the masters of our own energy, and so whatever energy we give out or receive in our lifetimes is up to us. Now, okay, Patchy, please. Where we encounter challenges is with things such as, Patch, please stop. Keeps digging holes after every time he stops. And I love that this subject in this video is already full of such distractions. You just learn to keep going, right? So I also know that when we go through our lives, we encounter wounds. So we enter battles with other energies and entities, other humans, animals, every living thing, nature, you name it. And in these battles we sustain woundings, and these woundings are, if left unhealed, if we don't accept the battle, accept the wound, and then seek to heal it, then it can become very attractive for negative energies or entities. And if you kind of fast forward to where you are in your life right now, it's quite possible that you have some wounds that are still open, and these open wounds are just a feeding source for energies and entities to latch onto. And what they tend to do is poke the wound. So they keep poking it. They're like, hey, you, I see that you've, like, if you've got a common wounding is like your inner child. And so they'll find the trigger, an entity will attach to you, and it can be quite small, it can be not super intelligent. It just knows that perhaps whenever you encounter a certain person or a situation or a feeling, it'll see that trigger and it'll seek out ways of encouraging you to be triggered, and so to think of that person or that event, or to or connect with them again, so that you relive that trigger. And the trigger and your reaction to it, this wounding, is how they feed. And when you think of the universe as like this continual battle between darkness and light, it's really interesting, because here I am in nature, and I wanted to record this video in nature because it doesn't feel right now like we're in a battle. And that's really good, because I feel like we just continually go through every single present moment accepting, and the ability to accept our light and our darkness is so incredibly valuable and is so incredibly important. And it's the most important aspect of our healing journeys, is to accept that. And I feel that's why I'm drawn to nature at this time, is because, and I'm just next door at the football grounds next to our house, where there's like loads of kids playing and they're having lots of fun. And it's like outside, yes, there's always a struggle between darkness and light, but inside, seek that acceptance, that unity, the love of every aspect of you. Pat's going to be digging a lot of holes today. So, forgiving all the darkness of you and accepting every aspect of you is so powerful and so beautiful, because when you do that, you can achieve that calm and, send love to every aspect of you. When I often talk about healing darkness, it's all about accepting that there is darkness within us all. And it's only when we deny it, and it's only when we try and push it away and we separate it from ourselves, that we cause real problems, and that we give our power away. Like when we separate darkness from ourselves, we're saying that's not part of me, that's something else, some other being or energy that is different to me, is separate from me, and we're giving it power. It's like when you separate part of yourself, you give your power to that separation. You give some of your power to it. And so, to talk through some practical advice, so a dear friend was asking me, like, how do you protect yourself from energies and entities? So the first thing I do is and the most powerful thing to do is to continue to work on your wounds. Like, if you're not wounded, if your wounds are healed, it is really, really hard for any negative energies or entities to attach to you. And that is a fantastic start. And I feel like facing your fears, facing your darkness, facing your shadows, all those things in your childhood, every aspect of you that requires that attention, that love, that healing, all the shame you feel, every aspect of you deserves to be healed. And so one practice I do with clients is I visit that space and time, that event of when I experienced it, and I see myself suffering, that wounding, and I stand there as an angel for myself, and I send in so much love. And even as every wound occurs, I send them healing love, and I say, look, every wound will make you stronger, will make you lighter, and you're learning how to shine brighter and brighter every day with every wound that you sustain, and to bear witness. So many souls go through this lack of hey Petch, come Petch, this way. So many souls go through this lack of being seen or being witnessed, and the darkness in us is integrated so much easier when we bear witness to it. And so when others inflict it on us, we also bear witness to that. And that is so beautiful. Come on, Petch. And then also, what I really love is be able to hold space, send in love, and just send in like these big, beautiful waves of source energy into that wounded version of ourselves. And as we do that, we're in this beautiful position where we're in a much more compassionate and healing space. Just wondering where this path goes. Yeah, up here. So, yeah, the other aspects are, once you've identified your darkness and looking for where you want to heal the most, you're able to step into a position where over time you become more and more healed, and you become more and more energized and protected, and that is really magical. You're also able to discern more, because I feel that as we develop this ability to heal wounds, it doesn't just apply to our past, it applies to our future as well. And so what we're able to do is really face into each day the wounds that we sustain, because every day is like a battle. And I wanted to just come out into this busy road, or it's probably busy, and I'm kind of hoping it is, because I wanted to kind of share some of the distractions as well as the peace. Because as we go through our lives, there's lots to distract us. Come on, Patch. And there's lots of things that wound us. And so when we really face that and we say, look, every day is a beautiful opportunity for peace and healing between every aspect of us, our darkness and our light, and the darkness and lights that we observe and feel in others, then we accept that we're always growing, we're always becoming stronger, and we're always fighting those battles. And just like that walk in nature just now, it's really beautiful to be able to achieve a position in our lives where we're always calm and we're always healing and accepting inside every aspect of us, not just our light. And that as we do this every day, in all the crazy 3D distractions that we have in our lives, becomes easier, and we help inspire others. So yeah, I want to go into some practical advice. The first I would say is, for me, is the daily routine. So I start each morning during the week with a morning run, and after my run I come back and I do 5 minutes meditation, and my daily meditations are in all of the links in all my videos, and then also my homepage. And what I find most valuable to me is the ability to connect in with every highest aspect of me, into source, into the center of Gaia, and to set up this golden bubble of protection around me. And for me, the free will, the execution of free will in our lives, so I guess this is number 2, is setting intention. And so when you set intention, what you're saying is, in this reality, in this version of me, I set the intention for this outcome. For example, I set the intention that only energies and entities with my permission, highest good love and compassion, can see me or access me, or exist within my golden bubble. And this is the implementation, the execution of your free will, of your divine right. And that's super helpful, because it'll also stop any wandering energies or entities just trying to connect in to your wounds. And then there's also a third one, which is, if you're on a journey where you're seeking to connect more with the higher aspects of yourself and connect with your guides, then what I find really useful is like a continued practice of discernment. And so setting intention is incredibly powerful. So rather than just going out, it's a bit like going to the internet. Imagine going to the internet and just receiving every web page ever. There's a lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff out there. You really don't want to be receiving absolutely everything. And what your guides can do is, I guess they're a bit like a search engine, and you can set the intention. You can say to your guides, please show me, for example, show me a past life in ancient Egypt, instead of listening to another entity who approaches you unannounced and says, "Hello, I am your guide. I would like to show you Egypt, your lifetime in Egypt." And you just don't know where this is from. Like, you can ask it, but like, why accept unsolicited contact? And we're getting quite used to this in like spam emails and spam DMs and all these things on our phones and computers. And so don't accept them from unknown callers from any other dimension either. And when I do connect with people or energies or entities, I guess people are both, what I also do is I spend time... Oh, Patch is taking us back in the woods. Should we go back in the woods, Patch? You go this way? The road's a bit noisy. Oh, there's a squirrel. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. He's just up the other side of this tree. Yeah, so the other thing you can do is use your discernment. And the good news is that every human is blessed with this beautiful heart. And our hearts are amazing at discernment. And so what you can do with your heart is you can listen into and feel the energy from an energy or entity that wants to communicate with you. And I don't know what Patch is doing. And then as you absorb that energy, like, just listen to it with your heart and ask your heart, what is the intention of this energy? Is it, have my highest good and intentions at heart? And it's really helpful because they'll say yes or no. Your heart's like, yes or no, and you can feel it. It takes practice, and for some people it takes a lot of practice. And if you find yourself after a period of time where you've got a daily routine of trying to practice this, and you don't feel like you're making much progress, then ask for help. Ask for help from people like me or from other healers who can help you unblock your heart chakras and your communication, like help you communicate with your guides and communicate with your guides. Same with the actual communication of your guides. Like, it takes practice and it takes time. Some are many of us are just born with it and with the ability, and then we shut it down. And like age 5 or 6, when we get a bit tired of listening to everyone else telling us that it's not real and it's nonsense and it's too woo-woo and you're crazy and all these things that put us down and kind of allow us to rob ourselves of our own power. So that's my advice, is to be kind to yourself and take that practice and just listen to yourself and allow your guides to talk to you. And always initiate, like always ask, always put my hand on my heart and I say, guides, higher self, source, what messages do you have for me today for the highest good, love and compassion? This is the words I use. This way, Fetch. The words I use every day to connect in with my guides and create the song. I'm just going to spin around. Patchy. Patch wouldn't care if you walked in circles for days. Neither would I, to be honest. I like it. And sometimes people report, and in fact I had it a little bit today, of being like under some kind of attack or being influenced by something outside of them. So this can be like voices or tones or music or feelings or anxiety. And once you've made huge progress in like facing your fears and working through your shadows and your healing, yes, you can end up in a position where what you want to do is you want to protect yourself from everything that's outside of you as well, that doesn't have your permission. And this is where in meditation each morning when I set up my golden bubble around me, I also invite in Archangel Michael as a protector angel and a clearer of negative energies and entities. And I give him permission every day to help me on my path to clear, to heal, to protect. And the superpower of Archangel Raphael, who I also invite in, is to heal. And as part of healing, he is also able to clear negative energies. So he's like, I always see him as like this beautiful angel that can, I feel like angels are there to act out, to execute our free will for ourselves. And that's really, really powerful. Oh, look at this sunshine. So yeah, invite those two angels in at very least. There are many others, and you can ask for their assistance. So if you're, let's take an example. Like a few months ago, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I was getting like, I was just in a really bad kind of nightmare, and it was like a kind of lucid dream. I felt a lot of anxiety. I felt like a lot of fear. Something, as I kind of listened to my heart, I was like asking my heart, like, is this mine? Is it really my fear? And it's like, no, this is not yours. This is like a projection onto you. And so I called in my friends, right? So I called in my guides, my higher self. I called in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and I set up a golden bubble around me, and I told these energies and entities to leave me immediately. And that started to help. And then I also invited down source energy, and I told this energy and entity to leave immediately and be firm, you must leave immediately. And it's not doing it disrespectfully. Like, if someone was in your house and they were doing things you didn't like, you're not ridiculing them. You're just standing your ground and telling them to leave immediately. And that's really, really powerful. So yeah, I think as well as being able to do that to help you sleep. Patch. Here we go again. One other important thing to do is to really stand your ground. And when you do that, you appreciate that when you stand your ground, you're saying, I am equal. Like, I'm equal to everything in this universe. We are all equal. And not to give your power away. Like, when we use words that separate us and give, I've got a feeling this bag is ripped. When we separate ourselves from others, this is when we encounter more problems, because we're giving them power. We're saying, this. We're saying this other thing that's not us has more power than us. Now, it would be really lovely if you could say, well, everything in our lives does exactly what we say. Whenever we issue our divine right, we say, you must leave immediately, and then it always goes. Now, we're not Source, we're not God, but we are made of Source, we are made of God. And we are the masters of our own realities. And so the best thing to do, Itchy Nose, is to not give your power away. And then the second thing is accept that it can be a bit of a battle. And so when we are in these battles between darkness and the light, like the battle for our sovereignty, it's really powerful to accept that that's exactly what it is. It's like when you see yourself on a battlefield and you're like, yeah, I get it. It's something that I'm focusing on just now. I'm fighting, and that it's not going to be, it's not always easy. Sometimes they're short and sometimes they take longer. But I do feel like a battle is a good way of looking at it, because I'm starting to see that darkness and light, like the yin and yang symbol represents, darkness and light is really balanced. That there is a natural balance, and that the war, if you like, it's the deviations of darkness and light, the battles that are the things that need to be balanced, not the natural default state of yin and yang. And I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. So whenever we're in these battles, we're really just going through a short-lived period where, and I say short-lived, you know, we've been in many battles, Earth's been under battles for many, many years, but in between the battles there are periods of calm and peace and love. And it's those times that we focus on the battles within us, within ourselves. When the peace is outside of us, it gives us more space and time to focus on the peace within us. And as we develop the peace within us, we also affect and reduce the battles, the wars outside of us. It's all getting very profound. And I think I've picked up about 4 dog poos on this walk. It's really funny. Any other advice? Yeah, to ask for help. So this is really important. Find yourself people that include animals. Like Patch is a great ally for me, and also like family and friends. Sometimes our family and friends are like can be their own battles, but you can also seek alliances with people. And so when you, for instance, my son was suffering from nightmares, and so after I asked for help from a dear friend, she recommended that I really work with him. And so I started, it's months and months ago now, we started meditating together every night, and I still meditate every night with my son, and he's a super powerful ally. Like when I need help with someone else, I will ask my son, like, would it be okay just now in our meditation tonight to send this person some healing, to send this friend, this soul, or this area, this land, and then ask for, you know, seek out people that resonate. If you're watching this, I hope you resonate with me and my work, and feel free to book me in for a session. You can visit jonbinnie.com and you can pay for a full session, and there's also donation-based sessions. And I also am open to energy exchanges. Oh, and then the other thing is, like, come on, Patch. The other advice is being able to ground, like go for walks in nature, go barefoot on the grass, you know, take time out to visit places and environments that really help you connect in with, sorry, you got a good view of a poo bin. Yeah, like walks in nature are just super, walks in nature are super healing and calming and clearing, and nature always wants to talk to you. Every plant, every flower, every blade of grass, it's always a journey of receiving. So I'd also recommend you open your heart to that, and when you connect in with Mother Nature, like send in, like when you're grounding, set the intention to send down any negative energies or entities like down into the ground, and that they're for Mother Nature to absorb, and she will transmute them like food, like she does with our human waste. She transmutes it into into compost, into nutrients and minerals that allow other plants and other living aspects of nature to grow. And she does this also with our energies. And so please do ground. Grounding regularly is really helpful. If I need, and grounding's a whole separate video, right? But I do feel dizzy in my head and a bit weak and a bit spaced out, and a tendency to want to go into hermit mode and hide away if I've not been grounding enough. And so whenever I can, I go out into our back garden. The grass, we're pretty close to my house now, and the grass is like here. I just put my feet on the wet, cold grass, and I set the intention to send down my energy into Mother Earth. So this is also super helpful. And another video I could do is all about connecting in with the other aspects of you across the other galactic versions of you, all your timelines of you. You'll also find there's many versions of you that have gifts that can help you in this lifetime, where they can help with protection, with energy and entity, removal, discernment, connection with your guides, like all these different things that you want to do. So connecting in with them in meditation, like ask for versions of you to step forwards to help. And they're like your guides, and sometimes they are your guides. So yeah, I hope this video finds you well, 30 minutes, and I hope it helps you on your journey. And just remember that I'm always here and you can always reach out. And I hope this video finds you well. Sending my love from Scotland. I love you.